80 AD. The Roman Colosseum is packed. Over 50,000 spectators have come to watch the games. Gladiators, executions, wild animals. For Rome, these are not just entertainment, but a way to demonstrate the empire's might. Emperor Titus prepares to give the signal for the performance to begin. But as the crowd awaits the gladiators' entrance, something impossible happens in the arena. A bright flash of light, a dull thud on the sand, and 5 armed men, clad in strange, unfamiliar armor, appear in the center of the Colosseum. The music stops. The crowd falls silent. Rome doesn't yet know it's witnessing a clash of eras. The 5 fighters are a group of special operations forces. They're disoriented, but they act automatically. All-round defense, visual inspection, threat assessment. Their weapons, equipment, and gear seem like magic to the Romans. No shields, no spears, only strange black objects in their hands and closed, faceless helmets. To the crowd, these aren't people, but creatures from legend. To the gladiators, they're an incomprehensible target. To the Praetorian Guard, they're a threat whose nature is indeterminate. Pauses are unheard of in Rome. Hesitation is a sign of weakness. The Praetorian Guard receives the order, check the threat. The first soldiers enter the arena with shields and spears. They don't know who stands before them, but they know one thing: the arena must obey Rome. The gladiators retreat, making way for professional warriors. The crowd holds its breath. It still seems like just another exotic spectacle. But in a few seconds, it will become clear. This is no show. When the Roman soldiers get too close, one of the special forces soldiers fires a warning shot into the sand. A loud bang echoes throughout the Colosseum. The crowd screams. The horses panic. To the Romans, this sound doesn't sound like an arrow or a ballista. It's thunder, torn from a man's hands. The next shot strikes the shield. The wood cracks. The soldier falls. At that moment, Rome realizes for the first time they are confronted with a weapon unlike any other. After the first shots, the Roman line breaks. Some retreat, others press forward by inertia. The Special Operations Forces don't fire indiscriminately. They fire in short bursts, precisely distributing their targets. Smoke grenades fill the arena. Visibility drops. The crowd screams. To the ancient world, this looks like witchcraft. To modern fighters, it's a standard tactic of suppression and control. Emperor Titus no longer smiles. He sees that the usual methods are ineffective. Mass, discipline, courage, all prove useless against the technology of the future. He orders a halt to ordinary soldiers and prepares the next step. If these aren't people, then they must be fought like mythical creatures. Rome is preparing beasts, and the Special Operations Forces understand the battle is just beginning. The heavy bars beneath the arena rise, and lions enter the Colosseum. For the Romans, this is a familiar part of the games. The beasts break formation, frighten, and finish off the wounded. But the Special Operations Forces soldiers don't panic. They instantly reorganize, assigning sectors of observation. The beasts are dangerous, but predictable. Noise, flashes, and sudden movements throw them off course. What is chaos for Rome is another type of threat for the Special Operations Forces, one they are prepared for. The Special Operations Forces don't try to destroy the beasts outright. They use stun grenades and flashbangs, forcing the lions to dart and flee from the crowd. One soldier covers his comrades, the other controls the rear. For the Romans, this seems like a miracle. People don't flee from the predators, but control their behavior. For the first time, the crowd witnesses a battle where victory is achieved not by force, but by calculation and composure. Realizing that the beasts haven't solved the problem, Titus orders the deployment of large forces. Dozens of soldiers enter the arena, forming tight formations. Shields lock, spears thrust forward. It's a time-tested tactic, overwhelmed with numbers. The Colosseum hums. Rome believes that mass and discipline can still overcome even miracles. The special forces don't engage in a head-on confrontation. They retreat, taking advantage of the arena's size, separating the Romans with smoke and fire. The Colosseum, built for spectacle, becomes a trap. In the narrow passages, shields become meaningless and formations collapse. Modern communications and coordination allow the fighters to act as a single unit, while Roman soldiers lose each other in the smoke and noise. Rome's last reserve is the Praetorian Guard. They are the elite, the emperor's bodyguard, the best of the best. They act more calmly than the others, covering each other and not succumbing to panic. For a moment, the battle evens out, but the difference in eras takes its toll again. Sights, communications, instantaneous transmission of information. The Praetorians fight bravely, but they don't understand where death comes from. When the Praetorians retreat, the outcome becomes clear. The arena falls silent. Rome's soldiers are scattered, their formations are broken, fear gives way to rage. The special forces remain standing not because they are more numerous, but because they act as a system. For Rome, this is not just a defeat, it is the realization that there is a force that cannot be fought with conventional methods. The Colosseum, recently deafened by shouts and the clash of weapons, is plunged into a strange silence. Dust slowly settles on the sand. The people in the stands don't know what to do next, applaud or remain silent. The Romans are accustomed to seeing death, but not to seeing their army's impotence. 5 fighters stand calmly, neither finishing off their enemies nor celebrating victory. For them, the battle is over. For Rome, the process of understanding what has happened is only just beginning. The crowd begins to come to life. Some scream in terror, others in delight. Children hide behind their parents. Merchants forget their wares. For the first time in many years, Rome no longer feels in control. These people came to watch others die, but they witnessed the collapse of their familiar world. Words of gods, demons, and curses fill the conversation. No one says the most important thing out loud. Rome was unprepared for such an enemy. Emperor Titus gives no orders. He carefully watches the soldiers below. There is no anger in his gaze, only calculation. He understands these people cannot be defeated in the usual way. Not by numbers, not by courage, not by discipline. If Rome is the pinnacle of its era, then these warriors come from a future where war looks different. And this knowledge is more frightening than any defeat. Rome did not lose because of the weakness of its soldiers. The legions were disciplined, the Praetorians the elite of their time. But war has changed. Modern fighters use communications, tactics, firepower, and control of space. Every soldier is part of a system. In Rome, everything was built on order and physical proximity. When order collapses, so does the entire strategy. This clash demonstrated that eras do not fight on equal terms. If the special forces had remained in Rome longer, they would have changed the course of history, not by seizing power, but by gaining knowledge. Strategy, medicine, engineering, communications, all of this would have made Rome more dangerous than ever. But at the same time, it would have destroyed the balance of the world. A single unit of the future could accelerate history by centuries. That is why such clashes are only possible as a hypothesis. If special forces had fought in the Roman Colosseum, victory would have been a foregone conclusion. Not because modern fighters are stronger or braver, but because they are the product of a different era. Rome was great in its time, but neither empires nor legends can save us from the future. This battle would have revealed not the winner of the arena, but the most important rule of history. Technology always changes the rules of war. The most powerful weapon of the special forces is not the machine gun, but the effect it produces. The Romans used to consider themselves the pinnacle of the world. Their army defeated barbarians, kings, and rebellions. But now this confidence is shattered. The soldiers who survived the battle will speak of it as an encounter with the gods of war. Fear of the unknown spreads faster than any weapon. Rome is losing not only in the arena, it is losing in the minds of the people. Years from now, this battle will become the stuff of legend. Some will say it was gods, others demons from the underworld. History will be distorted, the details will be erased, but the essence will remain. One day, warriors appeared in the Colosseum who were invincible. This legend will become part of Roman folklore, a warning that even the greatest empire can face what it cannot comprehend. It is important to understand, the outcome of a battle depends on the conditions. If the SOF had run out of ammunition, if the battle had taken place in the forests or mountains, if more time had passed, everything could have changed. History abhors absolutes. But in the conditions of the Colosseum, in an open arena, in a brief clash, the advantage of the future proved decisive. This scenario demonstrates not who is stronger, but how profoundly context changes war. A SOF battle in the Roman Colosseum is more than just a spectacular fantasy. It is a clear example of how technology, tactics, and organization change the balance of power. Rome was great because it was ahead of its time. Modern fighters are strong for the same reason. History moves forward, and each age has its invincible warriors until the next era dawns. For the Romans, this battle would have been a technological nightmare. They had never seen weapons that could kill at such a distance, with such precision and speed. Neither shields nor armor nor formations could save them. Everything that has been considered the pinnacle of military science for centuries becomes obsolete in a matter of minutes. It's not just a defeat. It's the moment when an entire military doctrine suddenly becomes useless. The Romans weren't stupid. If they had the opportunity to observe such battles over and over again, they would have begun to adapt. More cover, more dispersed formations, attempts to attack from the rear. Perhaps they would have modified the Colosseum itself, turning the arena into a trap. But the problem is that adaptation takes time, and special forces win precisely through speed and surprise. Even if Rome had tried to adapt, it would have faced a key problem: real-time control. Orders are transmitted by voice, gestures, and messengers. Any error or delay ruins the plan. Special forces are different. Instant communication, a unified picture of the battle, constant coordination. While a Roman commander is trying to figure out what's happening, a modern unit is already changing its position and imposing new conditions. One of the key reasons for the SOF's superiority is teamwork. Each soldier doesn't act alone, but is part of a unified system. Communication, signals, pre-planned actions. In the Roman army, discipline was high, but it was built on orders and hierarchy. Here, every soldier understood the overall task and was capable of making decisions instantly. For the Colosseum spectators, this would be the strangest show of their lives. A battle with almost no contact, without the usual duels and blood on swords. People would fall without even getting close to the enemy. The crowd would initially be confused, then fall silent. The Colosseum, accustomed to shouts, would for the first time be plunged into silence, filled with bewilderment and fear. Such scenarios are compelling not because of the battles, but because of the comparison of eras. We look at the past and better understand the present. This battle is not about Rome's humiliation or the absolute power of the future. It is about how knowledge, technology, and experience accumulate over time. And perhaps in hundreds of years, someone will be discussing the same battle, where we will find ourselves on the side of the past.